Abubakar Yunusa Ahmad, representing the good, the bad, and the ugly people of Biamol-Tudiba Federal Constituency. I am from Gombe State. I stand, Mr. Speaker, to really give my own little contribution, probably propose a direction that will guide this Honorable House in consideration or considering this budget as it has been enunciated by our honorable majority leader. He has taken pain to go through the breakdown of the budget, which we appreciate. He has summarized it, and he has called upon us to give our own contribution that will enable a due diligent deliberation or working process when this report has been referred to the committees. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I really want to commend this administration by proposing this estimate. Hitherto, we saw the 2016 budget, which is about 6 trillion. When you look at the capital component and the recurrent component, they are at par. When you come to the 2017 budget, there is a little improvement towards the capital development. This has been hinged under the situation we found ourselves, that we have been described to have been in recession. It has been the intention of the 2017 budget to really get Nigeria out of recession. We really have to commend ourselves and give kudos to the government that as I'm talking to you now, and even before the presentation of the 2018 estimate, Nigeria has exceeded recession, and the economy is on its own growth. What should have been the thinking of the executive is to deepen and to really heighten, to consolidate this gain of recession positiveness that we have already, or the fear that we have achieved, to make sure that the common man down there has felt the impact of this development. In that field, you see, we have an improvement in the capital and the recurrent ratio. We have here a budget of about 3.5 for recurrent, higher than the developmental or capital fund provided, which is about 2.4. You can see that there is a gap of 1.1. We have to look into a scenario, a situation, whereby the capital fund should be really higher than the recurrent cost. Because when we continue in this trend, in having a budget whereby we spend more in paying wages, salaries, buying tools, running costs, and what have you, is not really going to augur well. We have to really develop in capital, have our infrastructure well equipped and really up to date, so that we can meet the modern demand and reality. And that is the only way to project, to catapult, or to really ease and increase the development as far as the nation is concerned, what we call nation building, to accelerate nation building process. Now, when you look at the Fiscal Responsibility Act, section precisely 11 and 13, has really given due procedures to be followed in coming out with the budget. Though these things were not really done, that is somewhere that we have to propose. Now, as our duty in the National Assembly, need not to load us with the provisions of the Constitution, section 80, that has to do about that consolidated revenue account. And I think it is pursuant to that that the estimate is now brought to us. The onus now is on us, pursuant to that section, to really look at this budgetary, estimate vis-a-vis trying to see how we can reduce the running cost, what you call recurrent overhead. When you look at the estimate in the relevant MDA, you discover that even in this recurrent, when you remove the essentials like salary and wages, you see that there is another more than about 30% of the recurrent is going into buying computers, computer software, provision of stationaries, DTS, duty traveling allowances, Estacot, all these things, when we look at it, that we can reduce this thing to actually get more money for developmental project. To me, all the committees, the chairman and the deputy chairman should pay due credence and diligence to the provisions as provided in the MDS. With a critical look, I remember this government when they come, they tried to reduce the cost of traveling. A president of some other developing countries, in order to save funds, they used to go on foreign trip in economy class. Why must we go in business class? Such are where when you now aggregate the cost of all this business class flying, you discover that a colossal sum of money is being thrown there. So if you can retrieve this money, put it into capital, you can see we will now be working towards closing the gap between the recurrent and the capital. In fact,
Honorable Yunusa, you have exceeded the time of 5 minutes that is allocated. Thank you very much. Okay, you can round up, but you have exceeded the time of 5 minutes that you are supposed to debate on the... Your mic.
In summary, sir, I am calling upon this House that when considering this estimate, to really pay due diligence to see how we can redirect it so that it will really catapult and make our own citizens feel the impact of this growth as far as our economy is concerned. Thank you.